Hello, everyone. Welcome. We'll give a couple of minutes to let others join as we're streaming in several platforms, and some of them take a little bit longer to join than others. But in the meantime, grab some coffee or water or tea, whatever tickles your fancy, like the Americans say. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds fun. How do I even know how many people have joined? I myself am drinking good old New York City water. They say it's one of the best. Who knows? I haven't gotten sick after 10 years of drinking it. Okay, 12 people joined so far. Hello and welcome. I'm leaving a couple more minutes for others to join. Great. Hello, Mohammed. Welcome. Hi, Jalendo. Welcome. Tough left corner. I don't see a number, but thank you. Welcome. My producers are telling me that the numbers is under end. So I'm going to go with that. Hello, Mohammed. Welcome. Second, Mohammed. Laura. Hola. Diego. Hello. Oh, this is the wrong post-it. Johan, hola. Welcome. Did you all get your drinks? Akasha, yo. Adriana, yo. Okay, let's get started. Hi, Holly. Good to see you. Okay, let's get started. So today we're going to be talking about how to properly conduct a usability study. But first of all, let's get to know each other. Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Rafael Mojica. I'm the VP of User Experience at DigitalOcean, which you might know it's a cloud provider based in New York City, but we have employees and customers all over the world. Today, we're going to be talking about some tips on how to design effective products and or services. There's going to be a more in-depth chat and presentation in a couple of weeks, but you can sign up or register on it on the description on whichever platform you chose. So go ahead and register there. There is also an amazing list of tutorials and playlists that DigitalOcean has put together for you to peruse and learn more about the industry. You can also sign up and register for those channels in the description as well. So, as I said, today we're going to be talking about usability testing. So let's get going. If you are building something for someone else, if you are creating something for someone else, even if you don't know or you haven't realized that, you are making design decisions. Even if you're not a designer yourself, if you're creating something for someone, you are making choices that actually are design decisions. And that, to a degree, could be terrifying because you are creating something that someone else will use or experience. So today, I would like to provide a couple of tips for you, especially if you don't have a design team or a design partner that can help you with this decision-making process. Many times there's tech founders that are working together. There's no budget for a designer, but again, you're making these decisions. So today we're going to chat a little bit about how to be more, how to create a more effective product or service via a tool called usability studies. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but it's basically a way to show someone product or service that you are creating, that you're putting together, and get feedback. It's as simple as that. Gathering feedback to improve whatever you're creating. So who should you be doing this with? Ideally, not just anyone. Just the idea of usability testing is that you actually get as close as possible to the group of people that will be eventually using or experiencing your product and or service. So to test it, to have a much more effective test, you need to test it with people that resemble as close as possible those who will be using or experiencing your product. How do you find them? There's chats, there's chat services, there's actually professional gathering services that can find those people for you, or just go to the places that they gather. If you're designing an app to, I don't know, order coffee, go to a coffee shop and try to find them. But most importantly is that don't do it internally. Why? Because you yourself are biased with what you're building. Great. Second important thing is how to conduct it. There is something that in the industry we call a discussion guide. You're technically going through science, if not social science. So to have a much more unbiased result, you need to have a series of questions that you ask everyone the same so that you get the results that you're looking for. So I would recommend you actually create a discussion guide that you follow. Now, granted, again, this is social science. You are not going to be a robot and ask the questions and just get the answers. It's more of a, as I said, is a guide for you to go through the same questions. Ideally, this guide should be task-oriented. By that, I mean, ask the people who you are interviewing, who you're talking to go through a series of steps. So that you can actually see how the interaction with your product and your service is. Ideally, these tasks actually should encompass many touch points, and by that I mean the different steps that someone would follow before, during, and even after using or experiencing your product and or service, so that you have the full context on your product, not just the product itself, but how do they get there? And how do they start interacting with it, and what happens after the interaction ends, so that you have the full picture of the experience that they're having. When you're going through this exercise, it is usually important to ask open-ended questions. The reason for that is so that you get actual motivations and you don't get monosyllabic answers. If you ask a yes/no question, you're not going to get much information about it, but if you ask questions like, what were you expecting to happen? Or why do you usually choose X over Y? That will give you a lot more information for you to work with as you're iterating with your project. So that is basically who and how to prep for this session. As you're going through the session, as I said, use open-ended questions. Try not to express any emotion as they are giving you the answers, because that would bias them as you're going through. And remember, you have to remind them, there are no right or wrong answers for what you're asking them. You're just gathering their feedback. Great. Ideally, when you're going through these kinds of studies, you should be recording them. Why? Because then you're not going to be able to gather all the information, take notes of everything that your subjects are saying to you. You either record it or have a note taker, or if you can, have both, so that you have a second person observing other things like their mood, the faces, or the emotions that the person actually showed as they were experimenting or experiencing what you're showing to them. If you're recording, always remember to go through legalese. Ask them first, are you okay with me recording this session? Some states in the United States actually is illegal to record someone without their permission. So ask them first, is it okay for you to record it? Mention that you are not gonna broadcast this in YouTube, that you're going to use the recording internally. The importance of a recording is that you can actually go back to the recording to use it on future reference, and I'll talk about it in a little bit. The note taking, actually, as I said, will help you correlate what you took as notes and what someone else, a third party, took as notes to actually produce what you're going to do with this test. Which brings me to, okay, what do I do after I conducted my usability study? Most important thing is two things: share it and act on it. Here's why the recording. You could actually put together a reel of small chunks of information, small chunks of quotes that people with whom you test this reacted, so that you can share with your boss, your manager, your founder. And you can actually prove or disprove on any hypothesis that you might have via this feedback. And the second one is act on it. Do not spend 2 weeks actually writing a report that no one will read. You should take this feedback and actually produce some results out of it. Iterate your product. Reach to someone that doesn't believe that you should be making this decision. Show them the value of what you did because of you got actually third-party feedback and information, an outside point of view from, if you actually chose the people right, from people that will be your users or that are actually your users at the moment. And last but not least, you should not be doing this just once. This is like the American says, rinse and repeat. The more you do this kind of exercise, the stronger your design decisions will be, because you are basing them on information of people that actually are using your product, they are experiencing your service. Remember that you are not your user, so you have to actually ask from them. Great. This went really quick, and I know I was very shallow on what I was saying. As I said, there's going to be a more in-depth presentation about this. I'm going to go through some tools that will help you to more guidelines on how to write a better design, a discussion guide, and what to do afterwards during that longer session. Any questions so far? Let me go through the comments and see if there's any questions. Mohammed, I am interested for Kubernetes clusters. I believe there's a lot of information on the channel about that. So go and sign up for that. Hello, hugs from India. I am doing well, thank you, Chandra. Okay, hello from Brazil. Okay. May I know the product category? Chandra, what do you mean exactly by that? I don't know if I understand your question. If you're still here and you want to elaborate. Well, Chandra writes, any other questions live? Sophia, I didn't see you there. Hello. Hola. Okay, while people start typing questions, I want to thank you all for joining on this short teaser for the longer presentation in a couple of weeks. Remember to register on the description. There's also other upcoming chats and talks about this. There's also community videos in our YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe for whenever something new comes up. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining. There were no questions on the live comment. That could be either amazing or terribly wrong from my perspective, but I will stay in the room for a couple more minutes if anyone wants to chat. But thank you for showing up. Have a great rest of the day wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, stay sane, and hopefully I'll see you in a couple of weeks when we do this in more in depth. Bye, everyone.